The New York Yankees have a golden opportunity to make a splash in a big way for this team as fans are turning towards Brian Cashman to continue to build up this roster through free agency before the postseason begins, as long as the Yankees make it, and also especially now that we have a key player headed off on the injury list, which is going to have an impact on the Yankees' decision making going forwards. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Yankees Digest. It's Chris here. We're going to jump right into things as always. If you guys are part of that 75% that's not subscribed to Yankees Digest, make sure to subscribe. It's a lot of fun. You don't want to miss out on all the New York Yankees updates, but let's jump into it. There's a lot to go over on the Yankees. Look, Brian Cashman had an interesting trade deadline. The Yankees did not really acquire any major bats. They did get Ryan McMahon, which is going to help out in the field, and already is helping out in the field a ton because he's a great fielder, but he's not a really good hitter at all. Ahmed Rosario is not doing much with his bat as well. So the Yankees didn't really upgrade their hitting at all. They upgraded their bullpen like there was no tomorrow. They went crazy on the bullpen, and it's starting to pay off a little bit more after an absolutely awful beginning that we had. But now, where things stand for the Yankees, they still could add some more hitting to this roster, and a golden opportunity is just fallen in their laps for a move that a lot of fans would be able to get behind, even though it would be quite controversial right now. Now, just diving into everything because this is a very, very interesting topic. As we know, there is a player who is new to the free agent market, and that player is Nathaniel Lowe. Lowe has now found himself on the free agent market, and look, there's going to be teams that are looking after him for sure, as already revealed in a huge update mentioned by Yahoo Sports that said, with the Nationals in the midst of yet another tough season, the team needs to focus on finding future solutions. Dylan Cruz, one of the team's top prospects, was thought to be one of the team's answers, but struggled this season before his injury. Despite Cruz's struggles, it makes more sense for the team to allow the 23-year-old to figure things out over the final 2 months over keeping a 30-year-old veteran who hasn't hit up to his usual standard. One of those guys might help them next season and beyond. Still, that has to sting for Lowe. There's an opportunity for this whole thing to have a happy ending. Lowe could get claimed by a contender and wind up playing meaningful baseball down the stretch despite his struggles. Lowe does have an above average 104 weighted runs created plus against righties this season. He could be a useful platoon bat for a team in need of power in the middle of a playoff race. And who's in the middle of a playoff race? The New York Yankees. As we know, when Lowe got DFA'd by the Nationals, teams were instantly interested. The Red Sox are one of them, and now the Yankees are another team that really, it makes a ton of sense for them to throw their hat into the ring here. I mean, look, he's had an awful season. There's no way around it. He's been a solid player throughout his career who's just not playing well right now, and it does suck. But there is a chance that playing for a winning team and playing for something that matters is going to help you. It would not be the first time that happens, where a player gets demoralized by the lack of success after being on better teams in the past. So it would make some sense for the Yankees to go after him, just on the basis of, you know what if this does work? It can't hurt anyone. It's a no-risk, high-reward move that could lead to us having some more help at the first base position, while Paul Goldschmidt does get healthy and he doesn't have to rush back from that knee injury, which would be helpful as well. And look, again, it's not a guarantee that it's going to work, but it is a move that would be quite interesting. Now, he's had a terrible season. Don't get me wrong. He's got a 216 batting average. He's got 68 RBIs in that span. And I mean, the OPS at a 665 is way below his career average. The slugging percentage, the on-base percentage, all below his career average. Don't get me wrong. He's got 16 home runs in the year, which is something, but it's honestly just not been a good season from him, despite the fact that he is a World Series champion, a Gold Glove, and a Silver Slugger over time. So when you consider all this, it does become very interesting when you look at the possibilities here. Look, Lowe would play in a platoon role who would be able to step in and bat against righties when needed. The thing is, the Yankees do have a ton of first basemen on the roster, which is something that they have to consider going forwards with this team right now. I mean, obviously, Paul Goldschmidt is still here. He's dealing with the injury right now and has had a great season thus far. He's got a 276 batting average, an OPS of 750, an OPS plus of 109. He's doing what he has to do while also being an excellent fielder, as he usually is at first base, and that's been great. But now with Goldie headed to the injury list, it does feel like a real scenario here where you could put Lowe on the squad and you could definitely get some benefit. I mean, if it doesn't work, you could DFA him again and just tell him, well, it sucks. We tried. Go find somewhere else. We bet you will. We believe in you. And I mean, look, if you want to do that, that's totally fair, and I wouldn't mind it just because it does give you some more help at that first base position, so you continue to play Ben Rice at the catching spot, because Rice has been excellent right now. He's been a lot better than Austin Wells this season. His batting average has gone a lot down from what it once was at the beginning of the year when he was DHing. He's got 17 home runs, a 233 batting average, but his OPS is still a 783. He's still shown a lot of talent as well. There's a lot of power coming off that bat. It's just a matter of the ball placement has not been great for Rice, and he does have to work on hitting into the gaps a little bit more. He has had terrible luck this season as well with as far as where the ball is going, but he does have to get his ball control a little bit better, because now being 2 years in a row on this, you start to hit this point of like, are we bordering on this is incredibly bad luck, or does he need to improve his ball placement? And at the end of the day, Rice is so young that that's going to happen. The thing is, we don't know where Rice's career lies. Is he a first baseman of the future? Is he going to go to catcher? And is Austin Wells going to have to figure something else out? That's the big question that we have to ask ourselves. Is Ben Rice dropping back into that catcher role after it felt like he was the first baseman of the future once this season was over and Paul Goldschmidt would move on once again, considering he is on that 1 year, $12 million contract? And honestly, I thought that what was going to happen was we would see Ben Rice just be the first baseman. I didn't expect Austin Wells to just not have a good year. And now that that's happening with his 212 batting average, all that, like, you do start to think a little bit, maybe Rice is the catcher of the future. Maybe you try to move on from Austin Wells, or you just do something different and you have Ben Rice be the starting catcher and Wells is in the platoon until he can figure it out. And I do think Wells is going to figure it out. I think they have two very nice young guys who can play the catcher and both bat from the left side. And because of that, they are eventually going to move one of them to that first base role, which does make a ton of sense, because then you have your first baseman of the future as well. You have a first baseman of the future. You have, on the same side, you got Jazz Chisholm. As long as you re-sign him, you probably have to figure out a shortstop for the future. And on top of that, that third base role is not necessarily locked down with McMahon, but he is a solid option for right now as the Yankees. It's very clear that what Brian Cashman's going to have to do come the offseason is focus on improving that infield a little bit. You got to improve on the margins, probably get a new shortstop, and potentially look at third base and first base as well, just see what's going on. But I do think Ben Rice is a good answer for this situation, at least for the time being. And obviously this year you do have Paul Goldschmidt. Goldie has been good, and he's been a good leader for this team. I just don't expect him to be back with the Yankees. It's not like they have a DH spot open for Goldie, and with Stanton basically being the DH for as long as he could hit the ball, and now Judge having to DH because he's dealing with the injury, it does make some sense for the Yankees to go out there and sort of just be like, all right, Paul, thanks for that year. Get out. Like, sorry. But that's what's probably going to have to happen. Meanwhile, you look at Lau's career, and he's had good numbers all throughout except for this season. He's had years where his OPS has been over 8. Like, there's been moments he's a champion. Like, there's a lot of stuff to like, and it is worth a shot if you ask me personally, because I feel like there's no real risk here. As I said, you could sign him. Goldie could come back. He could not hit well, and then you're like, well, buddy, we tried. Go find a third team this season. Someone will sign you. And obviously that would make the Yankees lower on his list of teams that, he'd sign with. But at the same time, I think if the Yankees have the opportunity to do it, go for it. See if you can just absolutely just pull something out of nothing there. It'd be an excellent move for the Yankees personally. At least that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day. Go Yankees.